Simon's exact wish and exact command. So that has...
So are you telling us, is there any message that our Prime Minister, that is to Ngozi, about not using his information, not using anything that he have his signature to, that might not, is there any message to Ngozi to desist from using anything about our Prime Minister name, his signature, anything that he did not endorse, that he did not allow Ngozi to keep using? I'm aware of that. Please, can you as well let the Biafra know about that? Very one, the message and the response from Madame Ngozi to you when you discuss that with her. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I have. I have very specific orders from Simon now, directly to Madame Goi, which orders I have told her via telephone just like a day ago, that Madame Goi should now withdraw from internet totally, like give up X, give up online, give up YouTube, give up all channels she is using to put this whole quarrel or anything else for that matter to public. I see that in the postings here somebody asks about the case, somebody wants to know about Simon's case. Let me tell you directly what I hear from the case, that the enormous posting in internet and also enormous posting to the prison from Madame Goi's camp has put problems to Simon. He has ended up explaining what this rioting is now and how things are in Biafran groups, and are you people a civilized government or something else? So it is utmost important that Madame Goi's camp and she herself don't use internet, X or any channels as a representative of Biafrans or Biafran state or whatever comes to the legal Biafran government. Of course, everybody can be in Instagram and Facebook and X, but as a civil person. But as a leader of Biafra or any authority of Biafra or any worker of Biafran government or anything concerning Biafra and the cause, Madame Goi is restricted to do now until further notice, which is Simon's exact wish and exact command. So that has already caused problems to the case, and I don't want any more problems to him, since he has so many things in his hands already. So this posting in X makes only confusion and disappointment. So so that is why Simon said very, very strictly and clearly that Madame Goi should stop that and do her work only now in chambers. Her good work, what she used to do back times ago. But this is utmost prohibited now, and utmost prohibited is to put this quarrel between Mr. Ogetsuku's people and Goi's camp to public. That is the worst thing she can do now. That makes Biafrans look, I might use this kind of word like ridiculous, that there is somebody rioting against everybody else. And there are so many fake news even going on, which probably we all are aware of. So even in that context, now Madame Goi should lay low and outside from internet totally. That is the message.
And the world is watching, Biafra is watching. So are you telling us, is there any message that our Prime Minister, that is to Ngozi, about not using his information, not using anything that he have his signature to, that might not, is there any message to Ngozi to desist from using anything about our Prime Minister name, his signature, anything that he did not endorse, that he did not allow Ngozi to keep using? I am aware of that. Please, can you as well let the Biafra know about that? Very one, the message and the response from Madam Ngozi to you when you discuss that with her. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I have. I have very specific orders from Simon now directly to Madame Goi, which orders I have told her via telephone just like a day ago, that Madame Goi should now withdraw from internet totally, like give up X, give up online, give up YouTube, give up all channels she is using to put this whole quarrel or anything else for that matter to public. Since I see that in the postings here, somebody asks about the case. Somebody wants to know about Simon's case. Let me tell you directly what I hear from the case. That the enormous posting in internet and also enormous posting to the prison from Madame Goi's camp has put problems to Simon. He has ended up explaining what this rioting is now and how things are in Biafran groups, and are you people a civilized government or something else? So it is utmost important that Madame Goi's camp and she herself don't use internet, X, or any channels as a representative of Biafrans or Biafran state or whatever comes to the legal Biafran government. Of course, everybody can be in Instagram and Facebook and X, but as a civil person. But as a leader of Biafra or any authority of Biafra or any worker of Biafran government or anything concerning Biafra and the cause, Madame Goi is restricted to do now until further notice, which is Simon's exact wish and exact command. So that has already caused problems to the case. And I don't want any more problems to him, since he has so many things in his hands already. So this posting in X makes only confusion and disappointment. So so that is why Simon said very, very strictly and clearly that Madame Goi should stop that and do her work only now in chambers. Her good work, what she used to do back times ago. But this is utmost prohibited now, and utmost prohibited is to put this quarrel between Mr. Ogechuku's people and Goi's camp to public. That is the worst thing she can do now. That makes Biafrans look, I might use this kind of word like ridiculous, that there is somebody rioting against everybody else. And there are so many fake news even going on, which probably we all are aware of. So even in that context, now Madame Goi should lay low and outside from internet totally. That is the message. Yes, thank you, Mr. Ogechuku. Yes, this is not the complete text, since I have the complete text preserved for this possibility that may come out as it has come. So something has been removed from this message. This was sent to the original group of Igbo people I gathered together when I learned from Simon that I can deliver messages, or got his request to deliver messages to you people. So something has been removed, and what else comes to this actual message? Since this one seems to be now the message Madame Goi uses as to back her authority up. The situation, this message was formed, and the information from Simon I got, we were in circumstances of Simon thought that he will be in investigation like couple of days. And the question was to take care of running office errands, like everyday errands that Simon is little time out, that somebody must take his, like I use a metaphor, somebody should open his mails and give and pick his calls when he's away. It was same kind of situation when I leave my office. I am the CEO and manager and the director of the board. If I leave the office for a while, I can tell my office manager that, hey, pick my calls and take care of things. I am away for 2 days. That don't mean that he will be the new CEO or new chief of board or something like that. It means that he takes care of the everyday things what are needed, not that the person self takes the one's authority and position, not at all. And that was, Simon got like few minutes to think the answer he gave to me, because those days we didn't even speak directly, me and him. It was just his opinion. And he recognized that later that he thought he is, realistically, he thought he's away for a couple of days, only maybe a week, and comes back. And if something urgent comes, there must be somebody in the office to pick his mail and answer his calls. And that is why she authorized Madame Goi to be that person as a chief of staff and helper to him, not prime minister on his place. That is the clear background of this message. I tell you this with true honesty. So nobody believed that this can lead to this kind of situation, that the person self goes and forms new government. And also, I am seeing a couple of messages here when people post here that are kind of negative messages, and I love criticism, since that is what we lawyers do. We answer to criticism, and that what I may say a couple of few words that I have followed this Biafra issue since I was a little kid. My grandmother introduced me to this Biafran issue in 1969 and 1970 when I was born, and since that time I have followed the situation, and that was just a pure miracle that later on me and Simon met, and this Biafra agenda started to live in our hearts. And since then I have visited Iboland 6 times, driven car in Nigeria, lived there in village, eating village food and making food for Christmas to people. I know, and read plenty of Biafran history. So now I know something about Biafra, and my hands and feet are in the red soil of Iboland. So if people criticize me that I do some business here or something, let me tell you, this is from my heart, and I even jeopardize somehow myself to take a stand in this issue. But I don't mind, and I am ready to go as far it takes, because this situation now is wrong. What is happening now is wrong. Madame Goi should not continue this, what she's doing, and give space and help actually to Mr. Oge to get this heavy burden handled with. So and third thing, people here ask plenty why Simon don't speak directly, that they will only listen when he speaks. Let me tell you, dear friends, that is not possible. He cannot make outside calls from that prison and WhatsApp calls like almost nothing. He can only call me internally and his lawyer internally, and that is why I am there existing, that I go there, write down his every word and deliver his messages, because the prison self don't let him call WhatsApps and foreign numbers for that matter, even though his communication is not restricted anymore. So it is just not possible he can now speak directly to Biafran people. That is why I am there doing this job. And next Friday, I'm going there again for the whole day to ask his mind and continue being his message deliverer. And I believe I can have some justification, not that I am a lawyer, but I have been married with that person for 7 good years and taking care of his son since the day the son was born. So I have some capacity to deliver his messages. That is my message I want to deliver, brothers and sisters. Thank you. I really appreciate this possibility to see you guys online like this, and I appreciate the time you have given me to deliver this important message. And to those who have not met me before and known me before, I present myself. I am a graduated attorney from Finnish University, and I have been practicing law for 25 years now here in Finland and in Scandinavian countries. And I have taken oath as a lawyer, which means that I should be truthful in every instance I perform and present my cases and my issues. So I am kind of under oath speaking when I represent my client, Mr. Simon Ekpa, who I have been representing for years and also been in good cooperation with him for years, and now representing him within his civil cases, which don't even have anything to do with this BRGIE issue self, but as his civil lawyer, I can deliver oral messages and written messages from him to the Biafran people he wants me to deliver. And that is why I have to be as truthful and as straightforward as I would be witnessing in court. So what I say are straight words from Mr. Simon's mouth. So they are not my own invention or nobody else's. And I speak exactly word by word what I have heard. And to begin with, why we are here because Simon wants us to be here like this, how we are now. Simon's straight orders when I personally went to the prison last Friday to meet him. I spent there 3.5 hours within sound restricted area, talking privately, me and him, so he could speak his heart out without being even afraid that any person would listen to it. So it was like attorney-client privileged talk. And he made it very clear to me that what he wants now in this situation is that every single one of Biafrans fall back to the original structure of Biafran government in exile, as it was when Simon left the government. And that is the message I delivered then, and that is the message I deliver now. So this BRGIE that is performed and that is presented in the original web page of BRGIE should be the construction for everybody to follow. And Simon has now given the leadership to Mr. OGOJA. Really appreciate this possibility to see you guys online like this, and I appreciate the time you have given me to deliver this important message. And to those who have not met me before and known me before, I present myself. I am a graduated attorney from Finnish University, and I have been practicing law for 25 years now here in Finland and in Scandinavian countries. And I have taken oath as a lawyer, which means that I should be truthful in every instance I perform and present my cases and my issues. So I am kind of under oath speaking when I represent my client, Mr. Simon Ekpa, who I have been representing for years, and also been in good cooperation with him for years, and now representing him within his civil cases, which don't even have anything to do with this BRGIE issue self, but as his civil lawyer, I can deliver oral messages and written messages from him to the Biafran people he wants me to deliver. And that is why I have to be as truthful and as straightforward as I would be witnessing in court. So what I say are straight words from Mr. Simon's mouth. So they are not my own invention or nobody else's. And I speak exactly word by word what I have heard. And to begin with, why we are here because Simon wants us to be.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. It has been an honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Gerasulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias's account, but I'm going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds defense and the State Department Foreign Operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. But most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't promise because the politics is not a particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards.
And the world is watching, Biafra is watching. So are you telling us, is there any message that our Prime Minister, that is to Ngozi, about to Ngozi about to Ngozi about.
Greetings, Biafran people. Greetings, everyone joining us now. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings, greetings to everyone from all over the globe. Maybe late in your time, maybe morning, noon, and day. I salute all of you. They were from my end. Yes, we want to start from Ngozi's madness of yesterday. And first and foremost, you have listened to many of the videos that we have played. PM has distanced himself from the madness of Ngozi. So going forward as a Biafran, you don't align anything that Ngozi is doing to PM. You don't call anything that Ngozi is doing to BRGIE. You don't in any way validate what Ngozi is doing to has any affiliation with the Biafran government in exile. This will help us in many ways. One is to exonerate the Prime Minister in detention while he is ongoing the interrogation. you have heard from the attorney that said Ngozi using his letter heading is causing a lot of problem to him answering questions that he's not supposed to answer. Ngozi using his name, because when you now look at the letter heading, Ngozi is writing from the office of the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa Njoko. Ngozi will also be using the seal and the stamp of the Biafra government in exile, the office of the Prime Minister, and then she will use it to validate whatever nonsense that she has done. So all these and many more are thousands and many reasons why Prime Minister has to distance himself from whatever nonsense that Ngozi is doing. So every Biafran should be of the know of this and do not fall for Ngozi's madness in any way. So who has not been following what we have been doing for the past years should wake up now and understand that the game has changed. This is not time where you wake up and then you twat your buttocks, you walk into the media and start tweeting nonsense. We have seen many of you that have just returned from Obedience and One Nigeria and IPOB DOS and IPOB Nigeria, and even those that have been contracted to come and attack what the Biafran government are doing. You came very late because your sole aims and objective have been exposed already. We know why you were brought in, and the gatekeepers are awake. They are not sleeping. So nothing maga. So for those in the homeland, please do not be misled by Ngozi's madness and whatever she's doing. Ngozi is not doing anybody good. Rather, she's trying to take us 2 years back. But it cannot happen because there are men that were born for this time. Men that will stand the test of time. Men that will stop the evil that had wanted to come and prevail in the Biafran government in exile. That's why Prime Minister said that it is only when men with the anointing of Chukwu Okike that are supposed to speak up, when those men keep quiet because of fear, prejudice, and fear of being removed from one position or another in the Biafran government, that is when the evil of Ngozi will prevail. I want to say thank you to all of you that have stood your ground to make sure evil does not prevail in the Biafran government in exile. On Biafran government in exile, which we abbreviate to be BRGIE, on BRGIE, we gathered in Helsinki in 2023. We unveiled many acts, we adopted many acts, and one of which propelled us and brought us back to Lati in 2024 on BRGIE. On BRGIE, we have achieved many things. BRGIE is not just BRGIE as people hear it. BRGIE is the embodiment of the power of the restoration of the United States of Biafra. BRGIE is the pulpit which you have to stand to make the United States of Biafra come to limelight. BRGIE is like the mother of all inventions. In this 21st century, for the United States of Biafra to come or to climb to any stage, you must stand on BRGIE. You cannot stand on United States of Biafra at this time and speak when it has not been fully restored and fully liberated. So, for us to get USB fully liberated, you have to stand on BRGIE. BRGIE is the mother that has given birth to USB. BRGIE is what will liberate USB. BRGIE is what will get full recognition for USB. BRGIE is what will defend all Biafrans on daily basis. BRGIE is the one that is standing as the only legitimate government of the Biafran people now. You can register BRGIE in diaspora, but you cannot register USB in diaspora because USB stands to be what? A sovereign nation. BRGIE stands to be that very entity, that very legal entity that has to work for USB to come to be. So you can register BRGIE, but you cannot come and register USB in another man's land. Because if you register USB in another man's land, you're making USB a property of that land. So people should get this straight. When PM said everybody should fall back to USB, some of you are misquoting it because some of you are itiboribos. You misquote what he said to mean that he should go back to 2024 and 2023. These are the mentalities of Ewu that goes to school instead of them to be counting what the teacher is teaching. That is when you're running into the bush to go and look for rodents to see if you will see one palm kernel to break and eat. So BRGIE has a lot to do. BRGIE, one of its mandates is to see that Biafra land is fully liberated, and that has not been done yet. That has not been completed yet. When we read Ngozi's madness of a letter of dissolving BRGIE cabinet, she indicated there that the mandate of BRGIE has been achieved, and that was to liberate Biafra. I laughed. I said, oh, you say you have liberated Biafra and you are dissolving BRGIE. We should dissolve inside the convention, but you are still in exile and you are still looking for recognition from America and other countries, yet you claim in your letter that you have liberated BRGIE with liberated USB with BRGIE. Psychiatric problem is a very big disease to Ngozi and all our followers. But I pray that all of you that have been contaminated of the virus you contracted from Ngozi, you will all come back to your senses. Thank you all. Yesterday we saw Attorney or Dr. Jonathan Levy being displayed by Ngozi in our program, and there were a lot of misinformation there. Let us make it very clear this night that Dr. Jonathan Levy was one of the attorneys or lawyers or lobbyists that the Prime Minister contracted for Biafran affairs. So, at this very point, many of you, the attorneys and the lobbyists, may not know that there has been a change of order in the government. So, because you are not aware, Ngozi is now using you to play our cards. So, like I said yesterday or a day before, all of the attorneys and lobbyists will be well communicated of the changes that has occurred in the government, so that they will not allow themselves to be used by Ngozi again. Because when Ngozi is coming to you, she deceives you that she's coming on the order of PM. That PM is in detention, PM sends her to come and do this and do that, and you will not know much. So we just fall for Ngozi. Now, the reason why I'm addressing this issue is because Dr. Lewi's work had to do in Africa, specifically in Banjul, when it was to see that letters are submitted about the Organization of Emerging African Nations. So, Dr. Lewi is not in Finland, and he has no connection to the Prime Minister's attorney or case in Finland. The same also applies to the Ambazonia. He has no information or whatsoever. So Ngozi is looking for opportunity for her to become opportunist in the media, to use whatever information she has to herself and brainwash her gullible followers. So every information that Dr. Lewi or Jonathan Lewi or Levy gave out in the press briefing of Ngozi yesterday, they are all false. They are all misinformations, because you have no affiliations to the attorney of Prime Minister in Finland, and all what you're coming to give is what Ngozi is telling you that you should put up and come and give the press. So you now align with Ngozi to make her happy, without knowing that you are now working against the government of the United States of Biafra that actually contracted you in the first place. We're not holding this against you, Dr. Lewi Jonathan. We are holding it against Ngozi, and you will be well communicated. So all Biafrans should be guided. It is not everything that you see that they post out there in the media that you now go and start sharing. That is why, if you check, the media team of the Biafran government in exile have not shared those posts or posted anything out that came out from that press briefing of Ngozi yesterday. Now, you say you are working for the Prime Minister, the same Prime Minister, after his communication restrictions have been lifted, he has been able to communicate and call some persons that are doing what Biafran people need, that is working for the Biafran government in exile and to the mandate of the Biafran people. Many of us have received calls from Prime Minister on specific instructions. He has even sent an open message that should be communicated to Dr. Former, Mama Adaonowu, Pharmacist Diana. I know he's the last person. Director General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Joy Irobi. Then you, Ngozi, that is claiming to be a new Deputy Prime Minister, which you made yourself a Deputy Prime Minister, you also make yourself COS to yourself. How can you be a COS to yourself? You are Deputy Prime Minister and then you are COS to yourself. So you appointed yourself Deputy Prime Minister. You still appointed yourself Deputy CEO. You appointed yourself COS to yourself again. So you are COS to the Deputy Prime Minister, which is still you. Hey, madness. You that is claiming to be Deputy Prime Minister, you still claim to be COS to yourself again. The Prime Minister, which you are shouting and deceiving Biafrans every day, he cannot call you. He cannot send a good message for people to talk about you in the media. It's only condemnation message that the Prime Minister is sending to condemn all your evil acts that you're doing. The message of the screenshot WhatsApp that you brought out, the attorney made it clear that you have altered the message. You brought out only the part that favored your narrative to be able to use it and destroy the government of BRGIE, to go and now overturn everything upside down. The attorney made it clear that the message was just for you to run an errand, that PM, as at that time, presumed that he would not be there for more than 3 to 4 days, like it happened in 2023. So he said, who will run errand for the office of the Prime Minister, just like you have always run as his COS, as his secretary? Take his calls, attend to minor things that comes in, then report back. But this time, what did you do? You capitalized on the message and decided to turn the table around to your favor, because you have been tested with power for just a week and you became a monster. What if you're given the opportunity to be in power for a month, and 2, and 3, and 4? Hey, you will destroy the Biafran government totally. Ngozi Orabu Fulani, stop sending juju perfume to my Prime Minister, to the Prime Minister of the Biafran people in detention. The message has come. Prime Minister rejected your juju perfume because it's not normal perfume. Stop sending letters to him as well. And stop sending anything to that detention facility where he is being interrogated. Stop all your evil, Ngozi Orabu Fulani, because it will not work. Okay? There is nothing good that you will send to PM in detention today that is going to work for his good. You have seen that you have lost the battle, and you are now using juju perfume to send to him and letter, so that by the time he just open the letter and collect it and read and start looking at it, or use the perfume, the charm that you have put on it will engulf him. Then the next thing, he will not be himself. He will now start calling and then saying that you should be the one to be allowed to destroy Biafran government. You see, even when the Prime Minister is not here with us, the spirit of Biafra follows him around. The spirit of Biafra protects him. The blood of Biafrans that have perished in the course of this liberation cannot go in vain. They protect him and they keep him alive 24/7. The same way these same bloods of Biafrans and the power of Biafra is protecting our supreme leader in detention. That's the spirit that protects this man. And there is one thing about this Biafra that some of you may not know. Since Prime Minister was called up for interrogation, there has been this power that looms around me that is giving me the energy to stand up and then speak against the evil. This power that I have not felt for a long time, this power just comes natural. That is to tell you that when the time comes, the God of Biafra will tell you and show you that it is time that you were called upon to say something and to do something, and you have to stand your ground so that the enemies will not come and destroy something. The energy will come naturally because you are not just acting yourself. There is this power of Biafra that is coming from our ancestors, guiding you and protecting you. Anyone that is planning evil against you, they will sit down in the shrine they will be doing all manners of juju. You see that the bottle will be breaking against them in front of them while you are waxing stronger. So, make una continue to do una juju. You no go touch Prime Minister, you no go touch APM, you no go touch Sonny, you no go touch Ajari, you no go touch Minister Imam Marubum, you no go touch our PM inside detention, you no go touch our Oyendo. You no go touch all the ministers of BRGIE. You no go touch all the BIAFRANS ministers here in the media who spend their time day and night to make sure they create the awareness and to put the record straight. I salute all Biafrans. So, Biafrans should ignore the misinformation messages that came from Ngozi's press briefing yesterday with the attorney that was speaking from that platform. That attorney has no connection with the situation report of PM's case in Finland. So, Ngozi put him up to whatever he said and did yesterday. And everything should be ignored because that is like coming out to give a different narrative, different from what the attorney that is actually handling the case of Prime Minister has on her book. Just because you want to create an impression that you have information to give people and that you are relevant when you are not relevant. We've gone past the time of trying to become relevant. This is when Biafra is on the table. We have declared the restoration of Biafra. We are looking up for the recognitions in the United States and many other places. I call on all Biafrans once again to come back from their wayward ways that have been caused by some evil elements that have found themselves in the Biafran sphere. We have common enemies, and that common enemy is the terrorists of one Nigeria. We also have enemies within the house, and these enemies within the house are the ones that align with the enemies outside. And we make no mistake to say that we play with the enemies within. We deal with the enemies within mercilessly before we send them back to the enemies outside to go and deal with them in their own ways. So if you think that you will destroy what we have been doing inside the house because you know a little with the few times you have been here, and then at the end of the day, you will now go and have a pot of porridge with the enemies outside. You have made a very big mistake because you came very late. You see, the Enter Biafra app and the channel on Telegram, which Ngozi screenshotted and made post. This is to tell all of you that Ngozi never knew when Prime Minister unveiled and inaugurated the Enter Biafra channel and the app on the Telegram channel. This app was unveiled since 2021-2022. Prime Minister was telling us since 2021 and 2022 he unveiled it. This Telegram app or Telegram channel has existed since 2021 to 2022. He unveiled it when he was to launch the Enter Biafra app. We've been there since 2021, and when the testing of the Enter Biafra app was unveiled, we tested it, and then we continue, and then we moved on. This evil woman now that just joined Biafran government yesterday is going to screenshot Enter Biafra app because she do not have access into the app. If Prime Minister had made a mistake of allowing her to have access to that one also, the 7 plus something K subscribers that are in that channel, she would have wiped them all off and destroyed it all because her own is just to come and destroy. So she knows nothing. The same thing she did about the 1,000 men group, which she screenshotted and said, this does not represent Biafra government. Biafra government that you are setting up your new group. All these groups had represented Biafran government when PM was here. But as you now started doing your madness, you say everything does not represent Biafra government. So anything that Prime Minister has put in place does not represent Biafran government because your psychiatric hospital office has come to be. So nothing that is working well represents your psychiatric hospital office of Biafra. So it has to be your own way of psychiatric mentality. So for those that do not know, enter Biafra channel on Telegram has existed since 2021 to this very day. Ngozi just came yesterday and she came too late. She knows nothing. Like I said, I will be her end because when she sees something, she starts shivering. She said, I took over the media to use it against her. Okay, it's because you are silly. Because if you were not silly, you will not come to play with the power of the media. We have been in this media with Prime Minister since 2021. We did not jump in yesterday like you jump in. No, we know the foundation that we have built in this media. Many have run away and we still stood our ground. We held this media down since 2021 down to this 2025. So we are not going to back down. We know all the tempers that normally comes. We have witnessed many of them before, and then we brainstormed, we stood our ground. They hovered and then they left. They soared and then they left. And then we still stood our ground. We fought them gallantly and then we still remain steadfast. So Ngozi's own is just a bingo pattern that is going to fizzle away in a few days. Yes. I want to commend the attorney of Prime Minister for taking the bold step to speak to Biafrans and to explain things in details. Because there's something that Biafrans don't understand. Our supreme leader was kidnapped in Kenya and he was taken to Nigeria. Yes. Now, Nigeria is not like Finland. That is why when our supreme leader have been in detention, they didn't even allow us to speak to him or to even bring message. The attorney of our supreme leader have made it clear on several occasions that when they go to visit our supreme leader to have private conversation with him, to hear messages that he will send to Biafrans, they don't allow them to have private conversations. So they don't even allow him to say anything about Biafra or to send message to the Biafran people that could be direct or message that they will now come to interpret and explain to Biafrans. That is why it has been like, why can't Supreme Leader speak to the Biafran people from detention? I'm asking all of you, which message has Supreme Leader sent to Biafran people since he has been there? Any day you see Supreme Leader in the court, can he send message to the Biafran people? They have made several attempts to even push Simon Ekpa into his mouth in the court. Then he will blow them off. The zoo set traps for him so that they will fall in. So, for those of you that say you want to hear Prime Minister speak before you take it, you are not the real Biafrans. You are the DOS. You are the obedient. You are the enemies that have come to destroy what we have built. Because if I should ask you, for how many years that the Supreme Leader has been in detention in one Nigeria, how many times have you heard him speak directly to you inside detention? Or you just want to come and make mockery of yourself? Even when Supreme Leader is speaking to us in the court, he's speaking riddles. He expects us to decode the message and to go back and encode them. Yes, he cannot speak everything in plain black and white. So, the difference here is clear that in the zoo, they will not allow the attorney to even have private conversation with our Supreme Leader to bring message to us directly. But in Finland, since Finland is not a zoological republic, it's not a banana republic, it's not a bush, it's not a zoo, there is leverage for an attorney and lawyer to client relationship and conversation to occur without any interference from the detention facilities. So, if you check it out now, you can understand that our attorney of Prime Minister has the privilege to sit down, discuss with her client or his client in whichever way, and then relate the message back to the people of Biafra. So this is one thing that is different that you need to see, that Europe is different from the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. So you don't compare the two of them. So when messages come from our PM, you take it because he is not at gunpoint. They are not putting gun on his head. No, he did not kill anybody. He is not being put in chains to sit down. He is not locked up in a four wall of a prison. No. You heard when the attorney explained. When I asked, how is my prime minister? He said he is in high spirit. He is doing his exercise and training every day. He's eating well. He's well taken care of. He takes joy in doing an exercise, and he is not giving up. So if he's not giving up, that means his strength is even higher than yours. That is why he is angry when he now sits back to hear that Ngozi is working to destroy everything that he built, instead of harnessing what he built to see that after the declaration of the restoration of independence of the United States of Biafra in Lati, we move to the next step. So he's very, very angry that Ngozi will use the message from the attorney, cut the message, alter it, bring it to the media, use it to our advantage, and then when the same attorney comes back to come and give another message from PM, she now denounced that message. Why did you now take the first message, which you use the part that favored you to your advantage? Then when the same attorney comes back again to speak, you now say the attorney is a miscreant. And yesterday, you were, the same attorney that you said is a miscreant, you were now posting out the voice conversation between you and the same attorney. The same attorney that you said is a miscreant before, because he gave a message, and this time the message does not favor you. You said the attorney is a miscreant. He's a sabo, he's a criminal. Then yesterday, you still now don't have shame. You still come and post the audio call, which you recorded the attorney without a notion. She did not know that you recorded her. This is criminal. If you were to record her and say, I am recording it so that I will post it to Biafran people or keep it on record papers, you tell her, I'm going to record this audio call. She say, yes, okay. You can record it, but you recorded it out of your own desperation because you had ulterior motives to use it to blackmail her tomorrow. And the message that was stipulated there, you turn it upside down. Prime Minister is in detention, and then you expect that Prime Minister will open mouth and say, tell Ngozi to manage the new mandate account very well. He will now call account. Chai. When he is in detention and he is being reprimanded of everything that has to do with Biafra, he's answering questions for Biafra. And you expect him that when he is talking, he's going to spell everything black and blue. You now brought the call conversation that you had with the attorney to come and twist it to your own favor. You have failed because you're already gone for good, because you were brought in to create so much chaos and destruction against the Biafran government, and what the Prime Minister, on the mandate of the Biafran people, has already put in place for the past 3 years. So Ngozi has failed, and Biafran people, it is time that you put Ngozi madness into the pit. But you cannot juxtapose and walk past the evil of Ngozi when you are explaining anything to Biafrans. because she has committed too much of treason and many things that have tried to take us backward to 2 years back. So I applaud Biafran people, especially the media, who are doing the needful. Keep up the good fight. Now, the topic to this very day says response to Nigeria propaganda on Simon Ekpa, Finland ambassador. We have read a publication where the Sioux media propagandists have brought out a publication, and they said it's Tinubu that made the statement, and that in that statement that the ambassador of Finland and other countries visited Tinubu, and they gave their words of whether encouragement or bilateral messages. And then you people did not post the message or the letter as it came from the ambassador of all the countries. You only quoted something and put in there to indict the ambassador of Finland. To say that ambassador of Finland said Simon stopped or tried to destroy the bilateral trade or agreement between Nigeria and Finland, and now he is in detention. Then you people are rejoicing. See, BRGIE is too intelligent to be wooed by all these media propagandists of one Nigeria. We have gone past this stage, and we understand the games and the antics of the zoo media, the zoo government themselves. In 2023, the zoo media and their government, they brought a propaganda video, which in the interview, the ambassador of Finland was telling them that the government of Finland will do their investigation according to their law. But what did they publish? What did they post? They were posting that the ambassador of Finland has made it clear that Finland is condemning Simon and they are going to take Simon out anytime soon. And that they dissociate themselves from Simon, that Simon is on his own, that Simon should stop destroying Nigeria because Simon is trying to jeopardize their bilateral agreement and the diplomatic and economic interests in Nigeria. This was one of the propaganda that they made in 2023. In 2024, they did another one, and Prime Minister still debunked it. Now, in 2025, we have just slept and woke up to see one coming from them again. The message to the Zoo Nigeria media is that they came too late. And for those of you that are not following up the event, no Biafran is allowed to go and start attacking the Finland ambassador in Nigeria at this time. Wait until I see the Finland ambassador video where she is condemning the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, for fighting for the freedom and the self-defense and determination and self-preservation of his people against the annihilation that is coming from the Zoo terrorist government. Wait until I see scene of Finland embassy in Nigeria coming out to outrightly pronounce and proclaim that Finland has rejected their own son because of defending the lives of babies, women, and children. Wait until I see the ambassador of Finland in Nigeria comes out to denounce that because of their political, monetary, and diplomatic interests in Nigeria, that they can trade the life of their own for money that they will get from Nigeria. I said, wait until I see that the Finland president endorses it. Wait until I see that the women and children of Finland endorse and say they are rejecting their own. Because of what? Fighting the same cause that Finland fought in the early years of their liberation, when they fought tooth and nail to get themselves freed from the Russian contraption. Wait until I see the Finland government and the ambassadors and the government and the people of Finland comes out to condemn Simon, my prime minister, to condemn the Biafran government in exile, that they have rejected us. Until then, no Biafran is allowed to go and attack the ambassador of Finland in Nigeria. No Biafran is allowed to go and start attacking the president of Finland. And also, Ngozi should stop writing any message or posting letters to the Finland government in favor or against the prime minister. And also to the investigation bureau of Finland that are handling the case of the prime minister. We don't need your letter. We don't need your petition. We don't need anything that you're writing. Stop it. You had it from the attorney that what you are doing in the media and posting and sending over to the government is causing more harm than good to the case of the prime minister. While his case is yet to be rounded up and folded up, your nonsense write-up and act in the media, when you come out and then you are using the prime minister's official letterhead, and you're writing something and say on behalf of him, and you put his signature, you put his seal, you use his stamp, you put his name. We have warned you, the attorney came out and warned you, an official memo will be out again to warn you to desist from putting the prime minister's name on any of the documents that you are parading as your psychiatric office in Georgia, Biafra government. You have the right to parade whatever you want to parade for yourself in your psychiatric office as your headquarters, but you don't have the right to use the prime minister's name, his signature, his seal of office, his stamp of office, and his letterhead to do whatever nonsense and madness that you're doing. You know, when the zoo terrorists understands and see any glimpse that is going to portray the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they normally release some propagandists. They will release some problem elements to come into the media to try to jeopardize every effort that will bring to the release of the supreme leader, our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. It is the same thing that they have used Ngozi today, that while the investigation and interrogation of Prime Minister is like getting a rapid wrap-up, they will now press Ngozi on the gear and a nonsense group and say, write letter, unveil this one, bring this one, say this one, say this one, say that you're doing it on the mandate of Prime Minister, say that you are deputizing him, say that you are doing this, put his name. She will go and put the name. How will you be writing a memo and then you are putting the name and indicting a man that is in detention and is answering questions? You're using his seal of office. You're using his stamp. You put his name, you use his letterhead. You're forging all these documents against this man so that he will be well indicted, simply because he had made you his direct secretary and COS in office, which the attorney had made it very clear that you were just to attend to messages and calls, presumably that he will be back in 4 days. And now the situation has changed. That is why he has come back to look at your madness and say she should be put to halt, because the madness that you're doing is destroying many things. So when this propaganda of Finland ambassador coming from Nigeria came out today. I didn't say it by surprise, because I know the Zoo terrorists, since they lack information about the case of the Prime Minister, so they will use every ample opportunity that they see to become relevant. That is why the visit of the European consul or the Finland ambassador and other European countries to Tinubu, they now climb on that ample opportunity to now come out to start writing some junks, some propagandas piled up. They use that opportunity to flourish. So you guys came late. And this message is very clear. No Biafran. Whether you love me or you don't love me, whether you hate the Biafra liberation or you don't, whether you hate the Biafra restoration that we declared in Lati in a month's time that just passed, whether you hate Simon, the Prime Minister, since 2021 to this very day, no Biafran is recommended or allowed to go and attack the ambassador of Finland until I say otherwise. And also, this applies to the president of Finland. Yes, Finland is the bedrock to our liberation. Wait until the day I blow the biggest trumpet and say, they have totally betrayed us. You will now enter the street and destroy everything you want to destroy. For now, our Prime Minister is still secured in their hands. Because if our Prime Minister is not secured in their hands, if they were like Kenya, they would have sent our Prime Minister over to Nigeria a long time ago. They would have maxed our Prime Minister, put him in a cooler like meat, then they will whisk him down to Nigeria. So Finland is what? Still our good and best friend for now, because the lamplight of Biafra has not been quenched. That lamplight of Biafra is the Prime Minister. And Finland is protecting and keeping him for us. No matter the circumstances that we find ourselves now, we have to be very careful in our reportage. Finland is not where you start coming to sit down and do broadcasts. You will see many publications flying around. They want you to go and start attacking the Finland government now. Okay? So desist from it, Biafran government media. Don't dwell in it. They want you to come and sit down and start analyzing how Finland government has betrayed the Prime Minister and Biafran people. No, don't indulge in it. Skip it and stay away from it because it is a trap. The Zoo terrorist government are setting this trap for you. So that by the time we now bombard the media and start turning our barrel of gun to Finland government, we will end up losing something. I want everyone to remember that we have to remain focused. While we are fighting the enemies within and without, the defense, which is the Liberation Department, the Defense Department of this liberation in the homeland, under General Igwe Butuzo, they will continue to do their work assiduously. When Prime Minister was here fighting the enemies of Biafra that were within, that is IPOB-DOS, and obedient and later emanated, we did not abandon everything to fight from one face. No. We were fighting a multidimensional battle in different ways and approaches. Our fundraising was still going on. Our town hall meetings were still going on. Every meeting was still going on. And the defense forces were still doing what? Fighting their battle in the homeland. While we continue to fight the enemies that we have in the house here within. So that multidimensional approach will still continue. So nobody should think that with all this drama that is happening, that the defense forces will not be doing their work. They will be doing. Everything works for good. While you're being distracted in the media, it is advantage in disguise. The homeland will continue to fire on, while the diaspora will continue to fire on. Everything works for good for this very government. I salute all of you. And as a reminder again, no attack on the Finland ambassador. Wait until when we get the real signal that they have betrayed us. Huh? For now, no. For now, the red light that is coming from the zoo. It is a way to make you to go and destroy what you have built so far. So don't be distracted and keep focused. Ngozi is warned to stop sending juju perfume to the Prime Minister's detention facility. It is not needed. We have detected it, and Prime Minister did not even touch it. We sent it back to you. You are going to receive it back. You think that this is Nigerian politics. You want him to collect the perfume and collect the letter and open. When he open, your juju and voodoo will now engulf his face. He will not know what to do again. Evil people everywhere. You came very late because we are up and we are not sleeping. I salute all BIAFRANS. Minister Ajare, over to you before we pick few hands. We are not going to stay here for too long. We just came to pass a message, and that message has been delivered.
Yeah, thank you very much, my able Minister of Communications, Information and Media. I greet you, and only heaven will reward you for all you are doing and the way you have put this media together and made us so formidable. And then our enemies cannot even withstand us. And our Prime Minister will be so proud of you and will be so proud of this media. And the shame will be to our enemies, the enemies of this our freedom. Chineke, I don't need to go back and forth on what my minister have already said. He has visited everything, he has touched on everything. The lines are falling for us in pleasant places. We have a godly and a wonderful heritage in Biafra, and there's nothing that should distract us, nothing should sway us. Ngozi, all the juju you do, you forgot that our prime minister, he is the taproot, he is Njoku himself. Njoku. Njoku is a deity. You can't stop God. Njoku is deity. You know fear. You are buying or you are concocting perfume with juju. Now have we not left you? We have left you behind. I am just pitying for those who have seen this thing and maybe out of shame, they are still wallowing in this ungodly and demonic swamp. We have cleared the whole swamp. If you remain in the swamp, you are on your own. Some people that you think that they have sense, they are saying Ngozi have called the finance minister for accountability. Which office is Ngozi operating on to have the authority to call someone for accountability that the prime minister have never even called? And some of you, because you are zoo agents, that is what you keep saying. I can't. Now I want to ask you something. You have been putting money in accounts since the first day this woman was put there to destroy what we are doing. What have been accounted for you? Men on ground have not received a dime, a kobo, because you have not done anything. The ID card you people have registered and all the money, where is it? Are you still registering? Or maybe some of you are still giving her money for ID card and all those things. 20,000 cash was given to her from Finland. Where is it? All the money you have put into the Islamic bank, what has she done with it? The men on ground are not connected to her. She's not taking care of anything. She has not done anything as far as the liberation is concerned with money since our prime minister have not been on the stage. It has always been with the BRGIE, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, our acting prime minister, and success, the PA. They have been the link between the men, and the liberation is still ongoing. We have seen water still going on. Nothing can stop the water. You're not asking yourself. Ngozi is not involved in any of these things. She has not put money in any of these things. Are you? Because you have sold your soul to the devil, you are still calling for accountability. When you need accountability within where you are, you ask Ngozi, where are you? Where is the account that we have been putting in? Because, okay, she told you that she will raise an army. Where is the army? Okay, is she sending money to unknown soldiers, unknown army? You people are just so pathetic. And you all are going to learn, and you will learn in a hard way. Very, very hard way for that matter. Thank you very much, fellow Biafrans. As I yield my mic, please, Evan Sonny, you need to bring up someone else to support in the co-hosts, so that if I'm able to bring up some people while I'm still active, I will be able to do that. So that some maybe Ife is here with us, Ife can come up and join. Thank you, my boss. I yield my mic.
Yeah, let's give the mic to others that are already there. If I've sent you the link, if you're free, meet BRGIE, over to you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Technology, and with your Deputy Minister, Communication and Digital Technology, and Honorable Ife, Honorable MID, everybody here present, Mr. Snow, everybody. I'm coming, and I need to get my reading glass. God bless all of us in Secularum. I see the people here gathering, listening to what I'm saying. It's very important that we understand, the way things are moving. And I eulogize the Minister of Communication on his elaboration concerning the way forward. Look, brothers and sisters and lovers of freedom, we need to understand one thing. That thing we need to understand is between who is fake and who is original. That is very, very important, and it goes in concomitance with what our leader has been saying, that our people must win this battle by what you call truth. If anybody that is entering in the quest for freedom fight is not understanding what is called being truth on the part of the truth, that means that that person has not started. Our unfortunate sister, Madame Bao, is still playing the card of Agberoism. Agberoism means somebody that is trying to rigmarole and to mimic and to transmoglify the truth into darkness. And we say that that is not what we are here for. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are live. You are live on direct. Continue. I hear you.
Yeah. Now, many people that are not of the sense follow the likes of Madame Ngozi Orabueze, otherwise known as Madame Bao, because they cannot make use of their reasoning faculty. The fight for Biafra is a holistic fight. Dr. Gandhi said it. And when he said it, he was trying to save his people from domination of the British colonialism. When Dr. Mahatma Gandhi said that, it was the time that Americans, when they say Americans, it means the British people. The same British that were suffering from their hands. We are trying to destroy the people of Mahatma Gandhi. That is the people of India. He made that pronouncement. Now, in our own time, we have to come together. This is not a fight for individualism. When our sister unfortunately say, nobody, what does she mean by nobody? That reflects to what you call individualism. And it means, furthermore, that she does not understand the reason why Madame Goi is inside prison, which is unfortunate. Somebody that just entered into the struggle unscrupulously in 2022 September, and we have been managing her and patching her to be accepted inside the government, maybe because we thought she was part of the creed. But as long as she went on, she continued destroying every department that eventually opens hands for her acceptance. That is the sign of Ngozi. Anyway, if it is someone that accepted her, that mother will be destroyed. If it is BRGIE, Department of Think Tank, that happens to accept her, that department of think tank will be destroyed. If it is the Department of Health and Technology that happens to accept Ngozi or Abweze, that department will be destroyed. Up till the Department of Committee, which is the last, it was still destroyed. And the Department of Surrogacy is the last. It was still destroyed. What does it mean? Sociologically, it means that that person is not a freedom fighter, but is individualistic. If we want to take it to the spectrum of people who had understood what is called presidency, you will see that the likes of Ngozi is not good for context in politics, because the kind of she does not respect what you call ethics or ethos. It pains a lot for people to be hearing that the likes of the she's is being criticized in this way. But at the same time, the likes of she's still understand that the likes of Ngozi is not coherent in the fight for freedom and doesn't even give a damn to the suffering of the people. Let me stop it from this acco temporalis, and I believe and I know that from now, henceforth, people that believe in this freedom, the Biafran people must be following the directive of the BRGIE as our leader lead us, and through the indication of the media team in terms of public communication. Thank you. God bless you. In secular room. I hit my mic.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, thank you. Ancestral warrior. Ancestral warrior. Ngozi.
Wow, thank you very much. Good morning from my side, fellow BIAFRANS. Good morning, the Information and Technology Minister and the Deputy. I appreciate everybody. I hope I'm coming out.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm not going to have much time from my location. It's already early hours of the 25th of the day. It's already very early in the morning, but I kept hooking on because I just want to add my little voice this morning. And it's a privilege to speak before the Information Minister and his deputy and the entire Biafran that are on the board right now. In continuation, I want to appreciate in a special way the Information Minister. Man, you are super. You are doing wonderfully well. Keep it on. Keep it up, please. You are indeed the light, and we are following. Don't relent for any reason. I want to tell the entire Biafrans that are listening at this moment that we are at the victory side, but nevertheless, we will not relent. We are in the victory side because every hidden things are coming to the top, and everybody is seeing it very clear. What is going on is more reason why, sorry to say this, but it is another reason why people should be afraid of their Nigerian politicians. I'm sorry to say this because I know some of us here have our uncles, our aunties, our daddies, our mommies as a Nigerian politician. Most of Nigerian politicians are very, very deadly. And Ngozi has just come to showcase what they are capable of doing. What Ngozi Orabeze has done or is still doing, sorry to say this, but it's very, very another reason why people should be afraid of their Nigerian politicians. Pardon?
Go ahead, continue.
Okay. Why people should be very much afraid and be careful of Nigerian politicians is what Ngozi Ora is displaying. Ngozi Orabeze is displaying. Upon all the trust and confidence that our Prime Minister tried to show to her, she didn't fail in trying to pull him down by all means. And I want to tell the Biafrans that are listening at this moment that even at this moment, we are supposed to be thanking God in a special way, because even though Ngozi Orabeze has cut so deep, but we still have much more reason to appreciate God, because we still have more. Most of us in this platform right now are aware of a particular story of the robbery of a robber that went to a particular place, and after robbing, the victim kept shouting, "Nkemjeka, Nkemjeka, Nkemjeka," and the robber was surprised and was, does it mean this person still have more money? Why is he still shouting that what he have is more than what have been collected from him or her? They went back, they search and search and search, and after everything, when they were about to leave, the victim keep shouting, "Nkemjeka, Nkemjeka." Nkemjeka means what I have is still more. And the robber didn't understand that what the victim was all trying to say is that his or her life is more precious than whatever the robber has taken from them. That is exactly what we should be doing, every real Biafran, every real freedom fighter. Ngozi Orabeze has gotten deep, but what Anointed, please. I think you are.
Anointed, please
Okay,
don't unmute again.
okay. This is Ruby Nadis. You can let me talk whenever you have time. Thank you.
Okay, then after him you go. Okay.
So when what Ngozi Orabeze did, we should be appreciating God, because if not because God of Biafra is alive and he's still very much active over Prime Minister and his real followers, what Ngozi Orabeze intended to do, if she was able to play along, maybe she would have gotten more than what she has now. But very, very unfortunate to her, and fortunately to the real Biafrans, she was in a haste to deliver to the people that sent her, and she was unable to catch as much as she wants. Even the few that she has collected, I want to tell the Biafrans that they will come back with the force. This very force that they have used to follow her is the very force that they will use to come back, because the whole truth is on the top. There's no hiding place for them. If Ngozi Orabeze has played her card very well and allow a real election to be conducted for she to be put in as the acting prime minister or the deputy prime minister that she arrogated to herself, maybe there will be no reason for denying her the access to the men on ground, or denying her the access to the Biafran account. And that would have been 100% sweep off for her. But to the glory of God, it was not possible for her, because she was in a haste to deliver. For that reason, we have to be very, very grateful to God. And as we are appreciating God, I want us also to keep thanking these three wise men and their real followers, because if they did not act bravely, it would have been worse for everybody. I want to also encourage us. You see, all these our noble men and women that has mistakenly followed Ngozi Orabeze for one reason or the other, the measure they give will definitely be the measure they will receive. By the time the evil woman will start slashing them, nobody, they don't even need any preacher before they will come back to confess. All we need to do is to hold our ground. Hold your ground wherever you are, because everything is very clear. I want to encourage the information minister and his deputy and the acting prime minister and every newly elected Biafran cabinet member to stand their ground. During the time of Simon Ekpa versus DOS, it was more tough. I'm happy the information minister had just enumerated it, that they have seen the unseen before. This one is just my compared to what they have seen. During the time of Simon Ekpa and DOS, he was alone. He was alone, but he was able to navigate through all those scenarios and come out victoriously. So please, no matter how rough the road seems to be, I encourage us to remain steadfast. I also want to use this opportunity to urge the information minister. We are very, very rugged in your position. We are very, very strong. We are very tough. We are doing wonderfully well. Please, no matter how tight your schedule might be because of one thing or the other, because of the situation on ground, I want to appeal to you that you have to keep coming out on a regular basis, because our people need to be educated. You need to be coming out on your YouTube, on the space, on every media space. You need to be coming out as regularly as possible to be talking to the people, taking questions, elaborating. I know that our media people are doing well because sometimes, not sometimes, on regular basis, there are 24 hours, 48 hours on this space, doing greatly well. But at the same time, we also need an old voice like yours. You need to be coming out, you and your deputy and every other person to be coming out. Like I said, here is already early hour of the morning. This is around 3:22 from my location. So I'm not supposed to be awake now. And I'm sure that most people are already asleep. And some people might not have time to come back to this very broadcast. So no matter how tight your schedule might be, I'm appealing to you to make time during the daytime, Biafran time, to speak to people. If possible, take questions. It's an appeal. I know that with what is on ground, that everybody is so much overtight. I also want to appeal to your deputy, Pastor Van Van Vam. You are doing greatly well, and you have a very wonderful information to deliver. But on my personal observation, the other day you had a guest. That a guest has a lot to deliver to the Biafran, but you kept interjecting. Sometimes, even when you are like now, you are a co-host to your organ. Sometimes you feel like interjecting. No matter how you see good point to talk, allow the person that, especially your guest, to learn before you come in. Because when you keep interrupting, it will make the person to forget where he or she is going to. So you are doing greatly well. But when you have a guest or when you have a caller on your platform, allow the person to land. Or if you are timing the person, make sure that the time is up before you keep coming in. It's just an appeal or a suggestion. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much. There is a minister that wanted to talk before she
Yes.
goes to sleep.
okay, I'm rounding up.
Minister
I'm
Ruby
rounding up
Nade.
to excuse me, Ife.
Just wait a
Excuse
moment.
me, Ife.
Just,
Hold on.
Please let
Ife,
just
hold on,
wait
please.
a moment. It
Hold
is
on,
over.
please, Ife. Ife, hold on, please.
Just wait a moment.
I'm not the
Thank
one
you very
speaking.
much. Hold on,
I'm not
Ife.
the one. I'm not the one speaking.
I'm not Ife. Wait
Okay,
a moment.
MID, you spoke and nobody interjected.
Please,
Just wait a moment.
So I
Just
don't
wait
know
a
why you
moment.
should
There
interject
is
now. But
a
nevertheless,
minister,
hold
a
on, I'm
lady
rounding
that
up.
want to speak.
Hold on, I'm
We are not
rounding.
dragging. There is a
MID,
minister that
MID, hold on.
MID, wait, just please,
Yes,
Anna Ngozi.
my last
Just
observation before I
yes.
drop mic, before I hit my mic, my last observation is just what MID did just now. You know, MID is among the people that I'm seeing in this space. Sometimes they stay 48 hours
Please,
stay like.
please,
Excuse me, I'm rounding up. I'm just
round
trying
up
to
and
present an
forget about
observation, and I have.
all those discussions.
Please.
We can have that discussion in the daytime. This is night,
No,
please.
it's an opportunity. I may not have this opportunity again. So what he did now, or what people are trying to do now, is what to normally do. Whenever you are in the space, please try to coordinate very well. If you want to stop me, you ring bell. The second bell will be ringing, you will be dropping my mic automatically if I did not stop. Not trying to drag everything and make things look so childish.
I don't think you should let this man be talking
It's
this time.
okay,
If you
Chukwumeze,
have
it's
an
okay,
issue,
it's okay, it's
you
okay. Please
message
wait first.
our ministers in
Wait,
their inbox.
yes,
Why
I
you
understand.
coming
I
in
Okay,
that
this
is why
now I have to hit my mic, but I have
Okay,
yes.
yeah, please
delivered
hit
my
your
Please,
mic,
message.
man. Don't be coming out and telling our
it's
ministers what
okay
to do.
now, please,
Sean
yeah.
is all those ones.
Please. Okay, Anointed, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, my people, all the honorable members. You all are doing marvelous job. I was here in the afternoon, like about 4 hours, but I know nobody knows who Anointed is, so I was just listening. When you all were asking about any minister, any cabinet member, I had wanted to come in to say something to you all, but it's all good. I am just going to use this opportunity to say thank you so much for all you all do. Our media, you all are doing fantastic job. Starting from the minister, Sonny, to the last person. The only thing I'm going to say, because you know what we are going through, we've been through this before, but it wasn't like this. The last one was that PM was not in a place where he couldn't talk. He just said ceasefire, and fire was seized. When Madam Goi was stopped not to come out, she never uttered any other word on the media. So that makes it totally different from what is going on here. Ngozi is a person that doesn't have conscience, and she's a person that she can kill for power. It's just do or die for her. Even PM comes out tomorrow, Ngozi will still try to restrain. And some illiterates that don't know what is come or go will follow her, still thinking that maybe PM is a cruel person. Nevertheless, there is something that I just want to touch on. I know our information minister said something to that, but you know, Ngozi, she's a pick and choose woman. She picks what she thinks that can catch her audience, especially the ignorant followers that she has. One recording she brought yesterday or early this morning was about, PM Obatobie said that I should protect New Dimension, and she stopped it right there. Then when the attorney keep on saying New Dimension, he said, oh, okay, New Dimension account. Then the attorney said, you should know, PM said that you will know, you will understand what he meant. But Ngozi repeating that account is just to make sure that PM, because she already know what PM is going through, to make sure that she will incriminate PM into this account issue that they are going through right now. That's the only reason that demon, that monster, recorded that part to play to her evil followers. But those people following Ngozi, I'm just trying to tell them, I don't know who will see a fire and just want to jump into it without looking back. I don't know if just like the cologne or the perfume, cologne actually not perfume for ladies, cologne that she sent to PM yesterday was just, maybe she thinks, oh, PM is taking side, maybe this wood is not catching well. Let me put that for cologne and write something so once he reads that letter. But thank goodness, the lawyer said that PM did not open that letter and rejected to touch that cologne that she sent. This lady, all you all need to know, whoever that is having double mind, I was listening for those people that is having double mind. There's nothing like double minding issue here. People are dying. So many, and what we are going through is so unique in a way that we are fighting the battle with our politicians at home. Then we are coming in diaspora. to fight this kind of battle with people that we are saying that people were dying, and they are still saying it with their tongue, not with their heart. It hurts knowing what is going on. Look at how our finances is just like disappearing. Ngozi is holding this money, knowing that she should bring this money out, that we need it. You know, people down home need it to fight this war that we're going through. But she had the money for BRGIE, money for Biafran people suffering. There are some people that can't even eat, but they try, they push themselves. I hear somebody say, oh, I gave 50 because that's all I have. And she will give somebody this 50 cents. And Ngozi has the mind to leave it in her account and use it for her personal interest. I don't know. I don't. Sometimes when I think about what's going on, I feel like crying because, but we have to be strong though. I feel like crying just knowing that it's a lady doing this, that our children are dying. People's husbands are dying. People's brothers are dying. Uncles, daddies. And this lady is here holding on the money that we know that we contributed and sitting on it and still want to use that same money to make the case that PM is going through complicated. Because when this case is getting to an end, Ngozi will bring out another propaganda. And we go 247, that is Itibolibo, and the other fool that don't know who her mother is, Adadi Oranjo. They will start, and people that have common sense, then we polish that Itibolibo's propaganda. Then Finland we have another thing to look into. If it's not because of this devil woman, our PM should have been out. But what I just want to say, I don't have so much to tell you all, but I was here hearing what you all are discussing. We know what your concerns are. I had wanted to tell you all in the afternoon, there are some certain things you all will restrict from telling the audience, because there are so many enemies, even in that listening bench. There are so many. They are collecting information. Just like our Minister of Information said, please, let's not castigate any Finland government. There's so much that public does not know. In every honesty, they are not against us, but they have to follow the protocol. It's just like if somebody will run into you, somebody is running and another person pursuing them, they run into you. Then you say, oh, what's going on? They go behind you. Then you're looking at who is coming. You have to protect that person. Then listen to who is coming to see what's going on. That's where we are. They are not hurting us. So please, I know that Ekwensu is there and Americana is university. So please, there's some certain issues that when it comes on, Nkiru, Stella, I applaud every one of you, but there's some certain topic that when it comes up, you will try to see how you can wash it down a little bit, because I think they are for us. For now, that's all I can tell you. But I just called this evening to say thank you Thank you for all of you. I know your protocol is to, first of all, greet every individual. I did not do that, but I'm greeting everyone that is in there, that is working hard for Biafra. That's all I have to say. I will yield my mic. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you. Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much. Okay, you
Let
can
me
put me down.
stand on the existing protocol. This is an honorable member. I support her submission with a whooping sum of 50 ejema. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
so much.
Thank you, sir. Biafra Vision.
Hello, everyone. I greet all the honorable cabinet in this space today. I'm happy that I can see numerous of you in this space. Specifically, I have a question to our information minister. I don't know if you are still listening to me, please, with my humble voice, I want you to.
Minister of Information, are you there? Minister of Information,
Go
are
on,
you?
go on, go on, go on. We are
Okay, go
here.
Oh,
ahead.
okay. So my question to him this time is that I am a good listener and also I'm a good observer in everything. I found out when our prime minister was around with us physically, there is a way we delivered information, both in space and in YouTube. I watches everything. I discovered that our information minister usually coordinates some of information whenever they come in group and bring out information. We would like to tell people in space to carry it on. This is what we have to discuss. And I found out that those days he has some limited time to just peep in into the space and hear some certain things and find out some certain things, and later he will come out to correct some things he find out that is going on that is not supposed to. But I know that he has a lot in his hand now, because before he said that the spirit of Biafra has come to him at this time, with the such energy that he's using, I myself noticed that. But in line with what Mr. Ayo said, yes, he spoke some of the things I wanted to say. Some of the cabinet sometimes peeped in, listening. Like now, there is another topic that came out from Ngozi Rabeze, sending perfume letters to our prime minister. That's another topic. I want to ask Mr. Information Minister, please, can it be possible for you to relate to the people in space the particular topic and also look into the topic we discuss in this space, and also could if it's possible to have Zoom for those people that will be hosting space and those people that will be coordinating a space, at least it will be good because you are a good analyst. And I find out that is it possible that we keep talking about Ngozi all through the week in this space, while we knew that our supreme leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a prophet who has been in detention in Nigeria, and I knew that he has been praying for BIAFRANS. Remember, he said, God, I need 100 men. Do you think that 100 men that he has been praying, even continue praying while he is in detention, do you think is not what is playing out now? Do you think it's not that opportunity has come, even though when we look at it, it seems as if that our money has been divided, but when I'm thinking that prayer is what has been answered now. Please, can we continue to be talking about Ngozi? Then when the Prime Minister was around us, he said, our problem is Nigeria. I found out that most of the topic that we have in space goes direct to Nigeria, the things they do to Biafrans. But these days, the mission of Ngozi has thwarted that. Is there any way we can have a topic? Because I have someone those days when our Prime Minister is with us in physical that used to tell me that, do you know that those things that we say help to protect them at home? Because they now knew that Biafra have people. Thank you. That's what I can say. Can yield my mic here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Biafra Vision. Thank you. You know, when someone's house is on fire, that person don't leave the fire which he or she is supposed to quench and then start looking for the rodent inside the bush. The first thing you will do is to make sure you quench the fire in your house before you start going hunting for the rodent in the bush. Everything that we are doing works for the interests of this very government. So if we sleep and wake up and see that there is an enemy within, there is a reason that try to destroy everything, we have to unleash the fire inside the house. That does not in any way deviate us from our focal point, which is the zoo terrorists. And when you look at it very well, you will see that whatever the enemy in the house is doing is to the benefit of the Zoological Republic. Musa said, for them to cripple the defense of the Biafra liberation, they have to first attack our finance. The evil woman that you just called name now, when Prime Minister was called up for interrogation, what is the first target that she went for? It was the finance. She started by bringing up issue of accountability so that you will now start having discredit against those that were given work to do with money. So that at the end of the day, you will clap for her when she is talking about accountability. You will reason and then you will say, oh, maybe there should be transparency, they should give account. I need to know how much the account is. I need to know if somebody is chopping our money. It is a strategy. Just like you want to walk past the village square, you're actually going to the stream, then you want to commit a crime. You finish committing the crime, you are looking for who to hang the license or the emblem of the crime that you have committed. You found a dog. There is one hungry dog that is somewhere, and the crime that you committed was that you stole somebody's chicken. You ate. You now carry the bone of the chicken, hang on the neck of the dog. You put it there. So anybody that walks past now that is looking for the chicken that got lost, they will now come and see the bone hung on the neck of the dog. Now the dog, they go home. The main person that committed the crime has assumed and then disappeared. So that is exactly what Ngozi wanted to do, to create a scene that every Biafran now that may not know the intricacy, the secrecy of this Biafran government and the defense of this Biafran government. They will jump in and start asking, yes, oh, she's right now, come and give account, come and give account. But you should ask yourself, since Prime Minister was here, have you ever called for this account? Or see him come and complain and say there is mismanagement of funds, people should come and give account? No. So you brought it for a reason, which is targeted as destroying the finance, derailing the focus of the contributors that have been contributing every day, so that the mindset of people will now be divided. At the end of the day, they will say, I don't want to contribute. This one will say, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But all this is to your own detriment. Because the Ngozi that finished carrying out this template, she is far back in America, enjoying herself in a psychiatric office. While you that have played into a madness, your flanks will be opened up in the homeland. The enemies, which are the terrorists, will come in, cut heads of babies and women and children, slaughter them, and you will come back crying like you have cried for the past 1 month now, which happened in Yamufu, happened in Osu, happened in Owerri State, happened in Idemili. Because while all these are happening, it was a distraction and a way to put some of you in a state of confusion so that what wouldn't have happened will now come to happen. They are all strategies. So, my sister, the Biafran media department, those that are hosting programs every day, they are doing well. They know what to say and what not to say. They shot to fire and what not to fire. When they fire and go out of the way, they call themselves to order. They are not uncontrolled. They are controlled. So they know from the pace and from the region that they are working from. We know how we are working. We don't tell people how we are working, but we have our channel of workforce. What I would advise everyone is that think of what you should do to better the media. Not what the media department is not doing well, and then you're pointing out to them. If you listen to what the attorney of the Prime Minister said, when she was attending to the questions or the criticism on the comment section, she said, it is not what I will get from Biafra that I have come to do to offer for Biafran people, but what I will give to the Biafran people. This is an attorney that is talking that does not stand to gain anything from Biafra, but she's talking that she is in to see what she can contribute for Biafra to come. So as a Biafran, don't come to the program or listen and then be criticizing the media personnel of how they are doing it or they are not doing it well or they are doing it wrong. or they don't know how to do it best, you can add color to what they are doing by coming in to help them. Yes. None of them are on payroll. They are not on salary. They are all voluntary. They spend their time and energy. They abandon their family and their leisure time. They come out to lecture and stay on air for 24 hours and 48 hours, and at times 72 hours. This is the sacrifice we want to get from people. So all hands on deck. Bring in what you have so that we can see the best of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Minister of Information. Thank you for that. Megabyte, Mr. Megabyte, Mr. Megabyte.
Good evening, my brothers. Can I say
Yeah,
something
Kevin.
before I
Kevin, wait
sleep?
first.
It's late now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Megabyte. Okay, Kevin, go ahead.
Thank you, my brother. Good evening. In the afternoon, I came on the space and I was with you guys before I went to my business place. On my way coming back, I heard a very terrible news in the keke I was sitting that Finland ambassador came to visit Tinubu to render Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria. And I was like, wow, where is this news coming from? So when I get home, I say, let me come on space here to confirm the news if it's legit. Once I opened my X to log in, I didn't see you people. There was one platform on this X. I don't know how come. The whole people on that place were condemning Finland. Like 1 hour, I was just listening. They were condemning Finland, and I was just crying. I said, how come? How is Finland doing this kind of thing to us at this point of time? I lost hope. I was just angry with myself. That was from that kind 8 o'clock till around 10 o'clock. And I was like, God, what kind of thing is this one? This die minute, Finland has turned their back on us. Suddenly, I was knocked out from the space. I could not see those people again. I could not get that platform again. Till I decided to be awake till this time. Luckily, around 12, you people come up. And I was just say, let me listen this one if it's the same thing. So when our honorable here was making the speech, he now said something like, we should not listen to people that they are condemning Finland, that Finland will never do such thing to us. And I was like, wow. So these people are going this very extent. Like Nigeria, is this how this country? Oh, Nigeria wicked. Oh. How, oh, like all the news where they keep people, they not put them for news. I know they hear that one. I was so marveled to hear this evening that they are bringing back Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria. And the news was almost all the whole radio. The whole radio, we are talking about it. But all the things where they happen, they need to talk about them. I'm so happy now that at least what they are saying is not the right thing. I'm having confidence back and I'm happy back. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. God will bless you people. And you people should keep trying. I will support this platform with Son of 5AG. In the morning, I will send it to the group. God bless you people. Good night from here.
Thank you, Kelvin. You see, this is the reason why we have to be open on the media to correct some of this misinformation, because just like you said, there are millions of Biafrans that will hear this message, and some people will commit even suicide self. Yes.
I swear, I say I was crying. Like, I, ah,
Nigeria
I
terrorist
couldn't,
government,
I can't even breathe.
they play mind games because they play political mind games. They study to see the emotions and the actions of Biafrans. They know what they love and what they like. It's just like you sleeping and then you wake up, you see that um, Prime Minister or Supreme Leader, our Supreme Leader, Martin Amdekano, has been sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. Ask me what will happen to thousands of Biafrans on getting such message. So this kind of misinformation and propaganda, they have done it before in 2023. They did it in 2024. Now in 2025, they have to try another one. And they are doing it when they see that the enemies of Biafra within have a reason to create more chaos. So we have to be very, very smarter than them. And we encourage Biafrans in the homeland that when you get any information, don't make conclusions from the Zoom media. Don't base your news on the Zoom media. Come back to the Biafran government media to find out and confirm before you start escalating it, so that you don't drive some people into their early stroke. Please, I beg on everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's of
Ife,
information.
please, can I say
I'll drop
something?
you.
Please, please, please.
Uh,
No, it's
go
important.
ahead
It's
now.
important, please. Please, Biko. Sorry. I just want to, first of all, greet everybody. And I want us to understand that, please, like what my brother said, Kevin, before you, I will urge each and every one of us that please, it's always important that you study the spaces you go to. And when you are in a space that you don't recognize, please pay attention to what they say, listen to the tone of their voice, check out for the consistency in the type of speeches they make, check if they contradict themselves, pay attention what they are saying. Does he kind of like is it kind of similar or aligns with what our PM stood for when he was still with us? And that's where you need all the answers you're looking for. So, like I tell you, our ministers are here. They've told us that please, we should not attack Finland because they are going through due diligence. They are following protocols. And the other camp, they don't get any information from that side. So what are they doing? Attacking Finland. They're trying to attack Finland to make Finland to kind of like jeopardize the relationship between us and the Finnish people for now. And that can in turn affect our PM's case. So we want to refrain from anything that will cause any more difficulties for our PM. So please, we should be careful what we listen to. And finally, what I want to say is this journey we are going through, it's not going to be so easy. There are going to be so many mountains to climb. You understand? And what is happening now needed to happen. And I want us to understand that there are different kind of warfare. You have the conventional warfare, you have guerrilla warfare, you have cyber warfare, you have psychological warfare. All these warfares can take place whether the people were defeated or not. After a while, they will rise up again. But the most dangerous of all, that can affect the victims or those that are being oppressed, is that psychological warfare. because it dips deep into your mind and creates fear. And that same fear you will pass on to your unborn generation. And before you know, that ideology of ever rising up to want to fight for freedom will never ever come again. There are so many instances that it has happened. This is not the first time that psychological warfare has been used. Psychological warfare is always the last resort, because when you see that they cannot stop you physically, you understand? And they see that everything that they have tried to do to fight you, instead you keep resisting, then they will go into psychological warfare. So please, everybody that has been coming here hosting space, man, you guys are real heroes. You guys are real genius. You guys are doing so much, and we all need each other to make this work. But one thing I want to say is we can never be emotional, most especially if you are right there hosting or co-hosting. You don't be emotional. When you get emotional, the enemies become happy because the psychological game they are playing is affecting you. You cannot take an emotional soldiers to warfare. You're gonna be beaten, hands down. If you remember when our leader Onyindu was here, there was a movie he talked about on his broadcast. I think he said the name of the movie is called El Cid. These people were fighting a war, and that their warrior, one of their greatest warrior called El Cid, he died during warfare. But the people preserve his body for a reason, because only the appearance of that great warrior makes the enemy scared. Despite the fact that this man was dead, they had to put him on the horse to go into that warfare. And when the enemies saw the man on the horse, like charging towards them, the enemies didn't even know whether he's alive or dead. But you see, the fear of that great warrior put a psychological attack on the other camp. And before you know it, the people defeated the enemies. Psychological warfare is very dangerous, and we are not going to play into it. But if we continue to show, well, we are all human beings, you understand? We could get emotional, but you don't want to let the enemy see that. Instead, we want to show them determination, persistency, resilience. That will give them more headache, because they will see that they cannot break you. And we don't want that. We don't want to show them that right now. And finally, please, the last speaker that was speaking, I didn't mean to come at you like that, but sometimes when the person coordinating the space tell you, please, it's okay, don't go that line, please respect that. It's for a reason. All these ministers here are the representative of the people. These ministers were elected by the people. They have the mandate of the people. They are the image of the people right now. So if you feel like something is not going right, or something that you feel like something that they didn't do right, they owe you that responsibility. They owe you that responsibility, you understand, to answer to you. But you don't want to come in the open space like this and start questioning them or start advising them on what to do. No. Their numbers is there. There's a way you can reach them. Reach out to them. And whatever concerns you have, you lay the concerns to them. You don't come out here in a public space and start making it look like our ministers don't know what they're doing. Please. This is just for future's sake. So that's what I have to say. I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. And those hosting the space, thank you so much. Yes, I need my mic.
Yeah, thank you very much, Quincy. Mr. Megabyte. Mr. Megabyte. Okay. MID.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Yeah, I wanted to use this opportunity to answer our sister. That was a question that our sister asked, our sister Biafran Vision. And it's in addendum to what our Minister of Communication and Digital Technology has answered already, which is for us to be current on what is called or what is happening in our land, the confirmation of Islamization. The confirmation of Islamization in Nigeria, which is trying to spread to Biafra land, God forbid. Let us put it in a clearer term. We know that the country known as Nigeria is divided in North and South. We have been noticing that Islamization has been conversant in the Northern Hemisphere, notwithstanding the old history of Ottoman Danfodio invasion from the Badagry in 1804-1808, the formation of the Caliphate, which is something very alien to us. Today, they have started again. And our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, have been telling us that they are coming. As I quote, Fulanis are coming. They are coming. They are having this long-term Islamization. Today, Sharia is being institutionalized. Let us put it in that terminology. In the southern part of that country, starting from EKID state, which is at our backyard, our people must be preoccupied in this. Our people must be worried about the current trend of Islamization. Today, Sharia court is in EKID state. Those who think that Islamization is not real, it is real. Let me send this message to Christians. Christians in Biafra land, know you that Christianity model in Europe was meant for the survival of the Europeans, not for them to go to heaven. Unlike the teachings of Christianity in Nigeria or in Biafra land. In Europe, Christianity or Christianism was for the people of Europe to be able to survive and become civil or civilized people. Today, in our supposedly country, Islam is being merchandised to the extent that the people you call you big men and women, even men of God, are converting to Islam, and they are making use of Taj Bank, TAG Bank, that attracted somebody that we thought that was among us, Ngozi. The same tactics is being used today in making sure that they convert our people from the southern part of that enclave into something that they don't know, that we punish their generations. When our sister said, what else can we focus on? We should focus on we Christians, not to allow ourselves to be Islamized. Every preaching we're making in our churches should focus on the fact that there is Islamization coming to the southern part of that country, which is not good. in Biafra land, it can never happen. It can never happen in Biafra land. Islamization can never happen because we are not Muslims. Ethically, we are Africans and our religion is tradition, African ethics and ethos. One of my Chinese expertise and Japanese expertise in terms of researchers said that if Africans do think that they are Christians, they can never progress. They can never make it in the world. But by the time Africans recognize that they should go back to their tradition is equal to their language, their ethics and ethos, then they can form a nation according to their ethnic backgrounds. They said it. So, our people should simply understand that this fight for the liberation of the sovereign state of Biafra by Ojukwu, our eternal leader, is the only way that will lead us to be human being in this world. Especially not to be Islamized, because it is never possible for an original African man, what you call Aboriginal African man, to become a Muslim. It is not possible. Because ethically, Muslim is not African. Now, by the time we know that, let us all garner our efforts, our intellect, our know-how, our religion into liberation. There is nothing again we're doing in this life. That is the reason why we are awake from morning to night, evening, and the Abba time. Because we have to become a nation. And thank God, our leader, Mazinam Dekan, after Ojukwu and Wazirike, show us the way by his preaching. After Nnamdi Kanu, we had our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa of Arco Temporalis. Today, we are having the act, or what you call acting Prime Minister, Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere, who is piloting this particular liberation diplomatically for us to be a liberal nation, so that as they are Islamizing Nigeria, northern part, we, the Biafrans, will become an independent nation. Because those who understand the way the Westerners see us will understand that there is a need for us to have our independent nation, Biafra. Because without Biafra, everybody in Nigeria is regarded as Muslim. Whereas we are there making noise, thinking that we are Christians. You are not a Christian, hence you are in Nigeria. You are not a Christian. You are a Muslim at the sight of international community. Because the Abuja Declaration of 1989 confirmed to us Nigeria territory as an Islamic state. That's why they brought Sharia as a confirmation. Quod placuit regem lex abet vigorem. Now, what they are trying to do is to confirm that Abuja Declaration under OIC, meaning Organization of Islamic Cooperation. But Christians don't understand, because the model of Christianity in Africa, especially in Nigeria, made pastors and reverend fathers to be thinking that the word of God is merchandised, is individualistic. They have no element of agenda of nationhood. That's the reason why they tell you It's not possible for Nigeria to be Islamized. It is very, very possible because under politic, they have declared Nigeria as an Islamic state from 1989. Abuja Declaration. In 1989, I was in the army barracks in the secondary school. And the General Babangida Badamasi declared it. It was called Abuja Declaration. Then all these mushroom pastors will be coming out dishing word that doesn't understand. They don't understand anything concerning Nigeria or politics. You have Taj Bank. You have OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. They have Taj Bank. Where is Christian Bank in Nigeria? Christians don't understand. At the same time, they fight against their fellow brother that is fighting for freedom. Reverend fathers, let me stop there. Our sister, what we are focusing now is for us to be liberated. Not Ngozi Orabese. Ngozi Orabese doesn't understand anything. Because if somebody who is calling herself Deputy Prime Minister, which does not exist, does not understand the base of the formation of the word Prime Minister of Biafra, and at the same time does not understand the meaning of what you call the charter, which is the foundation of anything you're doing positively concerning Biafran restoration. What does it mean? Thank you, my sister. Let me stop now. God bless you.
MID, can I add something, please? Taj Bank is the local level in the zoo. While you have another one called Sukuk. That is based on the international level. A lot of
Let me tell you the meaning of Sukuk. Let me tell you the meaning of Sukuk. Wait, my brother. Let me tell you the meaning of Sukuk. Can I go on?
Go ahead, sir.
Sukuk is an Islamic constructional project being orchestrated for African Mujahid countries to follow suit as a replacement of what you call, that dictum that Africans stopped abruptly. What is that dictum? That African stopped abruptly. It is called Ruga. Ruga means a kind of very, very negatively Hellenic system of claiming of lands through the marauders. It's like you want to use this system that will be hiding from the know of those who went to school. Ruga. But Sukuk is for academic aspect, which means you can confuse people through deception, thereby saying that, look, you can, that is, we will construct this road for you, or you can get money, loan from our bank. But when you get, or once you get that loan from our bank and construct that road will be recognized as the project of Sukuk. Am I right, Ekwensu?
Yeah, you're right. And one other thing that is involved in that Sukuk, if you think it's a joke, anybody in the zoo, when you are traveling, you understand, look at the road, you will see a lot of Sukuk projects. You understand? So what they do is they compel your governors to go there and borrow money. They borrow ridiculous amount of money with next to nothing interest rates. and they are supposed to pay that money back within a certain period of time. They can give you 20 years, they can give you 15 years, depending on whatever they negotiate. And of course, you know your governors, the zoo governors, they take all this money and embezzle it. They don't use anything for it. It was what Umar was using to build all those so-called shenanigan flyovers he was building in this thing, in old Ebonyi State. And after that period of that contract clause, if the governor doesn't pay back that loan they take, of course they know they're not going to pay it. Automatically, the land belongs to Sukuk. So systematically, right before your own eyes, that's how they take your land. And when you go to go and argue that how is that possible, then they will bring out the paperwork, the contract paper that your governor signed. And when you try to fight it, then they will ask you, didn't you vote these so-called people into power? Were they not your mandate? So what is going on in the zoo is not a joke. That's why we need to get out. Systematically, all the land, most especially in the West, in the East, are being funded by Sukuk projects. That's why we need to do what we need to do and get out. Thank you.
My brother Kwensu, Chukwumeze, I want information, please. Oh my goodness. When I see somebody that understands in things that we say Biafra, I do laugh. I am His Academic Highness. My sister, I'm still talking to you, Biafran Vision. We Christians, we don't understand that we are not in charge of government. We don't even know what is meant by government. You see, I was trying to explain the Islamic tactics. I'm not even going to the history. Then my brother Quincy anticipated the sukuk. We will study very versatile. When we say bazaar, what do people understand by bazaar? Bazaar is not an English language, but to you Christians, to we Christians, I am a Catholic, okay? They made us, the Christianism in our land made us understand that bazaar is good something. But I'm telling you that bazaar is an Islamic terminology. Ekwensu, am I right?
If I talk now, they say I'm attacking, but I won't say anything. Let me keep
Okay,
quiet.
stop. Stop. I'm coming again. There is another one, another terminology, Islamic terminology that we have been using without we knowing, just like the bazaar. We say sukuk. There is another one. I said Taj Bank before, but there is another one. Mujahid. Mujahid. Some people will be taking that title, that as a title. Mujahid is not a title. It means simply Agberu. Agberu in Islamic terminology means set of people that are being used for the conquest of their own brothers. But in our own enclave, you see somebody saying, I am a Mujahid, Asari Dokubo. For example, you think that that is a big man? No, just like when they say Alhaji, it's the same thing, or Sarkin, it's the same thing. If I start speaking now, people will think that I'm a Muslim, like Allahilala. Opposite of Alhamdulillah. These are the things that they used to confusing our people. The best we need to do is for Biafra to be an independent nation. There is another tactic that they use that is called taqiya. What is the meaning of taqiya in Islamic terminology?
Religiously, it is okay to lie if they are trying to deceive an infidel.
Thank you. Deception. That is the meaning of takia. Takia et mujahidin. Takia is deceptive means you use to do what? To make people who are gullible to believe that you are a messiah, what we call messiah. That is what they use to deceive the Hausas from before 1804 from the area of Badagry, Lagosia, in the western part of Nigeria, and in the northern part of Nigeria, in the area known as Gobi, or what you call the Sokoto state. There was nothing like Sokoto state, but there was what you called Gober. Am I talking sense?
100%. And also, please
Thank
tell
you.
them how Sunan is antagonistic towards innovation, so that they will understand. Eradication of innovation and establishment of Sunan.
Before we talk about even Sultan of Sokoto, there was a man called Ottoman Danfodio. Ottoman Danfodio came from the northern part of Africa, Africa of the North, where you have the Caliphate today. Do you know the deception they used? The Hausa people, the Gobir Empire, Imperi Gobir. Now, the expedition of Ottoman Danfodio entered tactically with this deceptive technology or tactics as if they were trying to bring Western education to them. That was what they used to deceive our brothers, the Hausa people. Because I remember that historically, the richest man in Africa was called Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was from the Hausa enclave, which is traced to the modern state that you call Mali.
Mali.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
remember his brother was one of the first expeditors in Africa that sailed out to the land of Tamaria. So who is to say that our ancestors were not wise? It's just as gullible as this so-called Fulanis.
Yeah, so the Fulanis were people who were being used by the Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire is traced in the eastern part of Europe, around 285 after the death of Christ, when Constantine chased them away from the modern day Turkey. During the Christianitas, when the Europeans, formed Christianity and Christianism, this Fulanese has the origin of the people that we are being used for the conquest from Europe. Our people need to understand this thing. But the most important thing, as we are concerned now, is for we Biafrans to do what? To safeguard our own territory, to fundraise. When we are fundraising to safeguard the territory of Biafra, we are doing it for our children, for we ourselves, for our children and our children unborn. Because if we didn't do that, they will overrun us. Christians from Europe did not give them an iota. I can tell you historically that when they formed the jihad, the Muslims formed jihad at Mujahideen. Christians formed what we call the crusade, Prospicent Europensis Arabum Ordinata, Pascensis 1795 after the death of Christ. Christians formed the crusade against the Muslims, the jihadists, but jihadists formed the jihad against Christians. Here in Africa, I think that you just be like that praying and the miracle will happen. No. Jihad means armed conflict. Crusade means armed conflict. If you are a Christian, you don't know the meaning of armed conflict. It means that you have not started. But that is by the way. As it is concerned now, in EKID state, go to EKID state, you see that there is Sharialization. There is Sharia in EKID state, southern Nigeria. In Nigeria, after Abuja Declaration of 1989, Nigeria, that's supposed to have one constitution, became a dual constitutional nation. Very, very wrong. That's why you have penal code in one part, and in the other part, you have another code. Is you know what is happening in the country? So, Christians and Biafrans need to save themselves by embracing the works of Madame Goi, which is inclined in the fight for the liberation of Biafra, which is today represented by the opera of Mazi Simon Ekpa, represented by Biafran Republic government in exile, of which the only instrument you need is to fundraise for the liberation of Biafra. That is the only thing we need, even if it is small or big. Know you that freedom fight, what we are doing under BRGIE, is enshrined under the international law. Article 1, paragraph 2 of Charter of the United Nations. Article 1, Law 28 July 1951. Article 20 of African Union Charters. That is the only thing we have to do. Forget about any other quotation. We need to do that so that we have our nation and govern ourselves and produce whatever we eat and transport it and become human being, just like the Chinese and all other creatures you have in the Cruza terrestre. I hit my mic in this Arco Temporalis. God bless you in secula seculorum.
Sorry, let me just add something. Please, it's very important that we understand what is coming. Another thing I want to touch on is that Sunan, because you don't know why you won't get the point. But when they fully Islamize the zoo, but not with Biafrans, then you understand what the main aim and goal for that Sunan is. And I want to kind of correlate it and also make it kind of antagonistic to what we believe as we Biafrans, because every Biafrans, first of all, were Igbos before we became what we are today. But that doesn't make us that we're not one people. We're still one people. You see, the concept of the Igbo cosmology I want to use is what you have as the Chi and the Eke principle. The Chi and the Eke principle is one comes as an abstract knowledge. The Eke principle is the thought of creativity. Then for it to come into fruition, which is the productivity, you have the third one, which is called the Ikenga. So you can describe human beings, we human, as the Ikenga of Chukwokika Abiyama, because it is his concept that we are created in his own image. Now, I want you to connect it now. Connect it in this aspect now, this eradication of eradication of innovation and establishment of Sunan. It is also a three type, but it's just like the same type of principle, but it's not kind of depicting the same thing. But what I'm trying to show you how they all work together. When you talk about innovation has to do with creativity. You understand? Innovation has to do with creative knowledge, turning it into productivity. One thing these people believe in, they believe that every other person is supposed to be down except for their religious leaders and kings. So where this is going to work for them is they have to make sure that they have to destroy all those innovations that will make you think like human being, explore. You understand? Go into your inner mind and try to create new knowledge and how it can affect your life and change you as a person. They want to destroy that and establish Sunnah. Because Sunnah is only going to be teaching you about Islamic morals, Islamic way of life, Islamic language, anything that has to promote Islam, it will be bringing it to you. Thereby, you will not be creative. You cannot produce. You all will just remain under one person because it serves the interest of fidelism. These people, they are fidelists. They are fidelists. And when you go to the north, you can see that today. One Alaji, we open his house on a certain day. All the Amajiris will come there and he will be feeding them. He will be telling them what to do. Tomorrow, if you tell them go and carry gun and start killing so and so people, they will do it. Because that's how the goal is to control your mind and keep you down. And finally, I think it's important I just explain this thing, the meaning of bazaar. You see, bazaar is an Islamic word. It is an Islamic word, and the term bazaar is used for Islam, maybe in a gathering or in an event, any event that has to do with promoting Islamic trade, Islamic moral, anything that has to do with uplifting, anything that has to do with Islam in a gathering of people that are kind of like with the same similar ideology of Islam. It is called bazaar. And today you can see that even the Christians, our brothers and sisters that are Christian, they are using that word without even knowing what it is. This is how language corruption comes into play. I see a lot of things going on, and I just shake my head. You see the way our people are dressing. Today now, what is reigning is the Fulani cap. Gradually, they are changing everything. Right underneath your nose, and you don't know. Most of the tailors or the seamstress in the zoo, the latest fashion now is the making of the Fulani natives. Go to their Senate, you see that's what the Senate wears. Once this thing continue, it only takes one generation, which is about 25 years, understand, for it to become epigenetic. And you lose everything that makes you who you are. You lose your dressing, you lose your way of life, you lose your language. Language corruption. Is there anybody now that will tell me today they speak Igbo without putting English in it? It is called language corruption. Over time, it becomes part of your language. The word Oyibo, where do you think it comes from? It came as a result of language corruption. So it is important we go back to who we are so that we can preserve what makes us who we are. Because the only way people can succeed, you understand? First of all, you need to find yourself, identify yourself, know who you are before you can start exploring, you understand, the capabilities within you. But so long as we don't have that, or we don't have an environment that encourages that, we can never thrive. We will not thrive. So the zoo is not for us. Biafra is all we need. Thank you.
Yeah, you said it very correctly. If I can go ahead, I can still stress on that. When our brother said Sunnah, Sunnah has to do with Sunnah al-Islam. Sunnah al-Islam reflect to the second family of Muhammad. So because you have Muhammad Primus and you have Muhammad Secondus. Muhammad Primus is the Shaykh al-Islam that has to point to the first prophet, the first prophet that points to Africa of Addis Ababa, you know, the one that preached about Yeshua that was to be stoned to death. Then he ran to Addis Ababa and saved his life. Whereas Sumna al-Islam has to do with Abbasidi, which means the second family of Islam, the one that created Jihad al-Islam, alhamdulillah. Am I talking sense, Ekwensu?
Yes, 100%. You're right. You're right. 100%.
so now it has to do with radicalism. Now it is Sumna al-Islam that brought about Taj Bank, which means people that says that if they want to go to heaven, they will buy many people. Then by the time they go to heaven, they give them, is it 7 virgins? These are the families of Sunna al-Islam. And they are the one that is affiliated to Muhammad Buhari that are ruling Nigeria. Now, another spectrum is called Wahhabism. Wahhabism has to do with the family of intellectual Sunna al-Islam. You will continue studying it, you can never understand anything because that is Islam. But what is our own concern is our own African cosmology. But how can we Africans, we Biafrans, understand that our cosmology is what we will use to form a government and have ourselves been liberated? That was what, or that is what Mazinam Dekano saw. And he started fighting for freedom. Many people that studied Domina Ligbo, but they did not understand the need for us to be free inside that Omenala are getting it very wrong. Because you cannot know Omenala Igbo, Omenala Biafra, without knowing the contemporary freedom, having the mantle of leadership. That is the main thing that we are failing. If you like, you can pray Ave Maria, plena di gratia, Signore con te. But if you are not the government, if you are not the one in charge of the government, it means that your prayer makes no sense. We have many churches in that country, but who are ruling the country are Muslims. Am I talking sense, Ekwensu?
100%. And just
Now, what is the value of Christianity if in the country called Nigeria, who is ruling it is a Muslim, and it is Wahhabi and Sunna and Islam and mixed with Shiite? What sense does it make for a Christian to be making mouth that is a Christian inside Nigeria? Does it make sense?
no.
It does not make sense. The only thing that makes sense is Biafran freedom. By the time there is Biafran freedom, all of us will come together. Be you Christian, be you, traditional worshiper, be you Jewish, we will come together and harness our society, organize our society in our own reality. Then we will be free. We will be like the Europeans. We will be like the Chinese. There is no other magic there apart from this freedom. If you like, you can say you are a reverend father, pastor, this and that. But if you don't have political freedom means the freedom of the people, freedom of our people, as we are a zone, Igodomigodo, Igbo, Biafran people in total. If we don't have that total freedom, all our prayers are in vain because Muslims will come and destroy us. We don't know anything about Muslims. Even African Muslims are not regarded in the Mecca.
The honorable minister, one thing
Thank you.
I want our people to know is, you see, one thing I admire about the Caucasians. Yes, one thing I admire about them, they are more concerned about controlling the situation. We are very concerned about controlling the situation, because he who controls the situation controls the authority. While we in the COG, we are only concerned about the dividends of what comes out of the situation. You understand? That's why the Caucasians, they will strive to be at the helms of power. Why the black man is just all about, oh, come get butego, riches, riches. But you don't know that those in authority can take away the riches from you. So we need to start changing our minds to be in control of the situation. And that's why we need to have control of our own politics, political freedom. And then,
Political freedom, exactly.
we can decide how we want to be governed. Because one thing that made China progress the way they are, it's not just because they sent a lot of their people outside to Europe and everything, you understand, to go and learn about technologies. They brought it back home, and also with their population, they kind of devalue their currency to give the world cheap labor. No. The origin of this success they enjoy today is, first of all, knowing that who they are. They identify themselves as one people, one culture.
As a people.
Yeah, one
Thank
culture,
you.
one language. Even created their own alphabetical writing.
Yeah.
Anything that they are doing is always going to be in unison. And that's why it is very difficult for them to even sabotage themselves, because they have that unity of purpose. And to the zoo that are still to the people in the zoo that are still acting ignorant, one thing about Islam, this is a religion of war. Even after they Islamize the zoo, you will see that the Shias, the Sunni, the Wahhabi Muslims, they will still be fighting, because it is all about dominating the others. That is the mantra for them. Who will dominate who? So we are not that kind of people. We are Republican. Everybody live their life, you understand? As long as whatever you're doing is in accordance with the law, then we are all good. You understand? So the mess that is in that zoo is just too much, and we need to get out of it. Thank you.
We must contribute everything we have for the liberation of Biafra. For a liberation tax. That is the only thing. Without the liberation of Biafra, in 5 years to come now, all the churches you have in your local areas will become mosque. If you doubt what I'm saying, I can quote to you that around 285 after the death of Jesus Christ our Lord, according to the Bible hypothesis, the first Christian cathedral was in Turkey. Turkey was not called Turkey. It was called Byzantium. Where you have the church was called Byzantium. Although Byzantium now is being shifted to Rome, it was called Constantinople. I am His Academic Highness. Constantinople, because it was named after the king that was called King Constanzo. 285 after the death of Christ. This man was the first bishop you had under Christendom. It was him that sent his expeditions or expedients to save the Christians, the disciple of Jesus Christ, from Antioch in Pisidia in 270s after the death of Christ. Who was killing Christians was called Diocletian. Who studied theology will understand what I'm saying. But today, Constantinople is no longer Constantinople. It is called Turkey. Turkey is an Islamic country. It's not even part of European Union. Right? That is what is coming to happen
Yeah, very correct. Very
in
correct.
Nigeria.
Very correct.
Thank you.
The reason why
Mm.
EU did not add them in European Union is because they understand that the ideology is very different from their own.
Yes.
You understand? But you know, in Europe, you have the Protestants, you have the Anglicans, you have the Catholics. Although it is still one foundation that leads to Christianity. So it is important we have our own as a people. Even Christianity fought among themselves. You understand? The Protestants in French, and the ones in Britain. The Protestants were being killed in this thing. They were being killed in France. And no, sorry, they were being killed in Britain. Then France had to ask for them to be given to them so as to have peace. So why do you think they had the
Yes.
likes of Charles de Gaulle? Charles is not a French name; it's a British
It was
name.
called the Dulce Bellum
Yeah.
Akpachis.
So
That was the
having
yeah.
a value system and a unity of purpose is very important in the development of every people. So please, we need to do the needful. We cannot be emotional. We can't be emotional doing this. We have to be persistent, strong, determined, and steadfast. You understand? And Chukwu Okike, who owns this project, will surely make sure that everything come into fruition. But we have to do our own part. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think they are tired of hearing our voice. Let other people talk.
No. Let others go.
Ife, are you there? Mazi Ife.
Living.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Ife, are you there? Who brought him up? Ife. Are you information minister? Anybody who want to speak can speak. You can take the mic and speak. I don't know. Maybe the host and co-host they are not at by their phone. Go ahead, Reginald. Reginald, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are carrying you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I'm currently speaking from Lagos in Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria. I really love you guys' program. I love your program, seriously. I'm a BIAFRAN, so I just love the program, and I'm support of Ogenkere, that is our Prime Minister. So I know he's the one to really like leading Biafran.
He's the APM, acting prime minister.
Yeah, that is the leading Biafra right now, and Biafran should support him. He's doing the right thing for Biafrans. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, let me add to what you said. God bless you from the Lagos. Ogechukwu Nkere was being democratically elected. Before he was elected, there were many people that contested for that position of prime minister, including I myself. Ogechukwu Nkere got 2 votes higher than my own in the cabinet. I even voted for him. So at the end, he became the acting prime minister because hence there was a temporary, impediment of the position of the prime minister. There must be a replacement, what you call leader pro tempore. So according to the liberational language. So he was voted in democratically, unlike that woman that is has been bringing lots of confusions, because that one is an impostor, because she just imposed herself on the people, which is not good, which is so unfortunate for a mother like her. I hope she returns back to her senses, because Biafran freedom or quest is not an individual quest, but it is a quest for collectivity and for maturity and unity of purpose. So it is good that you support the right person, Ogechukwu Honorable Nkere, who's the Minister of Finance and the acting Prime Minister. So that is the addendum to what you have said. And apart from that, our people should understand that the reason why people are suffering in Nigeria is because the colonial masters invaded our people. What I mean by our people, mean the African people. When we say Biafra, Biafra did not end only in the land we call Biafra today, historically speaking, but it was very, very large. You see Ghana, you see Togo, you see the area you call Gabon. All those areas are Biafra. When the white men came, they were looking for bite of Biafra, because in Biafra there was manufacturing sector. Are you still hearing me, my brother, from Lagos?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Around 1821, you can hear about the bite of Bonny. You can hear about the bite of Biafra. You can hear about the people you call the Nana. You can hear Nana means Nana. And you see here that name in Ghana. You can hear Ovarawell in Igodomigodo. You can hear King Jaja of Opobo. You can hear our brothers from the hinterlands of the area you call the current Cross River State or Akwa Ibom. The Germans even stationed their ship and the establishment in Akwa Ibom, because our people used to produce palm oil. As at that time, there was nothing like olive oil, but you have the palm oil.